that came to a close on 2nd, Mataji Jayanti aniki.
மெசேஜ் எல்லாம் வந்து
கேம்ப் ஸ்டார்ட் ஆயிருக்கா?
கேம்ப் இப்போ ஒரு புதுசா ஏதோ ஒரு ரூல் போட்டிருக்காங்க சாமிஜி, பசங்க வந்து வெளியில வரக்கூடாதுன்ட்டு. ஆனா அது நம்ம டிஆர்ஓ வச்சு நம்ம அது ஆர்டர் வாங்கிக்கலான்ட்டு ஸ்கூல்ல இருந்தே கால் பண்ணாங்க. சோ அதனால ஒரு லெட்டர் கொடுத்திருக்காரு டைரக்டர் ஆஃப் எஜுகேஷனுக்கு. அப்போ அவங்க ஸ்கூல்ல இருந்தும் ஒரு லெட்டர் வேணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி கேட்டிருக்காங்க. அது ப்ராசஸ் போயிட்டு இருக்கு. அநேகமா அவங்க வெயிட் பண்றாங்க ஸ்கூல்ல நம்ம வாங்கிடுவோம்ட்டு. செடி எல்லாம் நல்லா வளர்ந்து ஏழுமலை பிரேம் நகர் அங்க பாத்துக்கிறாரு. நல்லா இருக்கு, கேம்பஸ் ரொம்ப நல்லா வந்திருக்கு.
கேம்ப் நடக்கணுமே,
அப்பா நடுவுல ஏதோ பிரேக் கொடுக்குற, அது என்ன தெரியல. கேம்ப் சீக்கிரம் நடக்கும், லெட்டர் வந்த உடனே ஸ்டார்ட்.
சரி. ராம் ராம். Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 Shri Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody.
Pranam Swamiji. Om Pranam Swamiji.
What is to be shared today?
Something more on to egoistic consciousness of doer and non-doer. So it gets registered with the mind.
Egoistic conscious. Mataji wanted, when Mataji asked for a message, immediately after the second anniversary of this ashram, that is 15th May 1932, Papa has recorded that Mataji answered, the egoistic consciousness that you are the doer and the non-doer, or the non-doer. Doer or the non-doer. However much we try to, even when talking about God realization, no, Papa makes it very, very clear that whatever we discuss cannot go anywhere near to it. You will just go through Papa's words on this aspect and then come back to the original question. Because that is very important for all of us. We may be talking so many things. The truth we are discussing, it should be. Everybody can see this?
Yes, Swami.
Okay.
The print is small.
Print is small. Okay. Now,
Better, Swami.
the truth we are discussing is inexpressible. However much we try to understand God, it is still inexpressible. Anirvachyam. They say it cannot be explained. But still we are talking about the inexpressible which cannot be realized by talking or through the working of the senses. When we react to events and individuals, normally our sense organs help us, mind and sense organs. Here we are talking about the power which makes the mind and sense organs to work. That because of which the eyes see cannot be seen with the eyes. We are all seeing, The seeing process is going on. But what is it that behind the seeing process? Can we explain? Means by which we only commune with our real self, the struggle, by which the waves of the minds are stilled. It is not by doubting that we can reach the goal. Realizing the truth requires practice and ultimate stilling of the mind. That is why nowadays Papa is prompting us to go in for Mauna session. No, we have had enough of all such disciplines, but not Mauna session. Because only through silence we will be able to go nearer to the truth. This talk is only a means by which we inwardly commune with our real self. Whatever we talk about the truth is only for the sake of talking. Even then, we find a certain peace within us. This peace brings about a certain. It is this subject that we are talking. Or rather, it is said by one great saint of India, if you want to know God, take all the books and throw them aside and think only of God. Having given so many talks, delivered so many lectures, written so many books, he himself asked his followers not to set great value to his writings and speeches because they cannot fully describe the supreme state which one has to attain. So, what Ramdas says or may not be unthinkable, indescribable, undefinable. And Ramdas thinks of this of his experience of having goes everywhere to lay before those interested in his attainment his own experience of the path that led him to the realization. He knows that the goal after reaching it cannot be described to others. Others must experience it for themselves. But he can definitely say that the absolute does exist because his own experience goes to confirm it. He can only say definitely that it is only by reaching the absolute that this life of bondage is free for attaining a state of happiness and peace of the eternal. Again, a state where the doership is not taken over by us. It is not that we are training ourselves. It is the fruition of a sustained sadhana. That means an intellectual pursuit cannot make us to reach. When we get stabilized that these words are coming because of the power behind this, movement of the hand, when it is experienced that it is coming because of the power within, it is the power that activates to bring out these words, then the ownership is not there. Whether doing or non doing. So that means a total subservience to that power. The real doer erases the sense of assumed doership from the mind of the individual. The individual remains, not that the individual goes, but the individual remains, thinks, talks, and does as prompted by the power within. So Mataji put it in a way so that we can pursue, how to reach that stage. Give up the egoistic consciousness. Consciousness will be there. Egoistic consciousness means being, I am the thinker, I am the doer, I am the actor, I am the talker. That means the sense of individuality realizes that it exists purely because of the power within. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai. Vandino. Certain things we think, we talk, we do. A power because of which these words are expressed, That is why Papa's that beauty by his will, that power. Shuddhanand Swamiji, when he was a child, what is his will now? Spontaneously, he was able to say, Ramdas will now get up, go to the carpenter shed, supervise things, come back, sit on the Panchavadi and wait for the evening mail. Every moment, every activity, in every moment, every thought, in every moment, every word, in every moment, the sense of individuality has a habit of owning it, That has to go by practice, not by understanding, not by intellectual assimilation. It is purely, that is why in this article he says that at the beginning, the truth we are discussing is inexpressible. But still we are talking about it because by doing so, we feel somehow benefited in a strange way. We are talking about the inexpressible, which cannot be realized by talking or through the working of the senses. By stilling the ways of the mind alone can we get at the truth. This talk is only a means by which we inwardly commune with our real self, which is static, and try to attain our oneness with it. That's why even after chanting Ram Nam, nowadays he has prompted us in the bhajan hall to observe, to make an effort to touch and experience the stillness. How to do stillness? By mentally chanting the nama which we have been hearing for 45 minutes. That is from say 12 to 11:15 to 12 o'clock. And melodiously it is sung. The mind also start going through it. Unknowingly we put a fence to our mind so that the thoughts do not go out. Either it is in the sound or raga or the accompaniments, harmonium, something. So first some exercise will be there. Then for 15 minutes we stop all those. Mentally we chant. We try to witness our own chanting, followed by our prayer. Nowadays, for the past 2-3 days, before the prayer is uttered, we also try to link that prayer. Otherwise, it may slip into a ritual. So the first prayer, Swami Omkarji's prayer for world peace. Now only we realize why Mataji wanted it. Directly linked to our efforts to quieten the mind. Because that power, the indescribable, that power, the power because of which these words are coming now, the power because of which the eyes see, the ears hear, the tongue tastes, the skin touches, the nose smells, the mind thinks, that power. That is what is addressed as adorable presence. Thou who art within and without, above and below and all around, thou who art interpenetrating the very cells of my being, you are the eye of our eyes, ear of our ears, mind of our mind, heart of our heart, breath of our breaths, life of our life, soul of our souls, because it is indescribable, that state. Adorable presence, Mahaniya Sanidhyam. We cannot express it. It is beyond past expression. So when Mataji said, give up the notion of doership and non-doership, that means we take it that in the absence of this sense of individuality is owning this. Sense of individuality will remain as long as the body exists. But now the body thinks that it is the doer, the enjoyer, the sufferer. But we have been promised that we will reach a state where we exist, we talk, we think, we do, but he is working out his will through me. Then the doership or non-doership does not arise. That is why Papa added that word. This is the thing all of us have to reach. Simple enough. Apparently, it is very simple, but it is very profound. And Mataji could say that because she was able to hand over lock, stock and barrel to the indwelling reality whom she called Papa. And actively taking part in everything, involving in everything. That is the beauty of it. Not retiring to solitude, not retiring to inactivity. No. Very much with the activity, very much with the life. At the same time, in ashram, some of you might have observed at the time of our sharing jackfruit, when a jackfruit is fully ripe, when it is taken from the tree, first everybody applies oil in the hand, and then they cut and they remove all other things except this, and then it is offered, then it will be distributed. But none of the thing will get stuck into their hand. Otherwise, everything will get stuck. There is a paste-like thing. But the moment we apply the oil, it will not happen. So, Papa, we remember, or somebody has mentioned, the chanting of his name for enabling us to hand over the doership and non-doership serves as the oil while involved in activities. You do all activities, but nothing gets stuck to you. The sense of individuality does not feel anything like that. Though apparently, outwardly, activities are going on. This is a state which cannot be explained beyond what they have said. So, this is something to be. How do people like us, one we were explaining, how do people like us who are involved in so many activities, either at home or in the office or with friends or in ashram, all of us are in activities. It's a toughest job. Mataji was able to do it, Papa was able to do it because they had exclusively spent a couple of years for this. They withdrew from all their routine activities and plunged deep into this and got the balance and came out. So the oil is there, ever, eternal. Nothing gets bound to the sense of individuality. In our case, we are in the midst of so many activities and we also try to practice this. So our struggle is very, very deep. So probably what we can try is during the waking time, the moment we get up in the morning till we retire to bed in the night, wherever possible, we try to withdraw mentally from our field and try to go through this. Have a dialogue with him. You have made me to involve and made me to feel restless, feel anxious, feel me. Or you are making me to do it, but I am not aware of it. You are making me to do it, but you are not making me aware with the result that I feel it burdensome. I get fatigued. I feel tired. I feel exhausted. At times I feel directionless. At times I am highly stressful. All these things, we can have a frank whenever and wherever it is possible. So that we are trying to bring him into the picture. Maybe for then only egoistic consciousness will mellow down.
Swamiji, then what is the meaning of praise? Papa says nothing happens if there is no praise.
Nothing happens?
nothing comes to understanding if there is no grace. Unless grace is there, your attempt will be in futility. I
Grace,
don't understand that
grace,
properly.
grace is not something coming from outside. The moment you become aware of Him, it is by grace you become aware. It is His remembrance that makes you aware of the grace. So both are same.
Grace can be descended on any bhakta.
No, 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 no,
You
no,
realize immediately.
no, 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 no,
Working
no,
for so many years.
no
and
such
all
thing.
that.
The beautiful example they say is when the rain comes, the one which faces up gets full water. The other one doesn't get water, small portion. The third one zero. See, it doesn't mean that it is not raining. That means that when our mind is open up, then I remember. So grace, remembrance, all are synonyms. Previously, we thought somebody is coming from outside, either from the we'll say God has to give, or Guru has to give. No, it is not. Remembrance.
Ramakrishna, Sri Ramakrishna puts it in another way. When the rain comes at the top of the hill, that water comes down, it doesn't stop there. That is the egoistic attitude. The top of the hill is the egoistic attitude. God doesn't stay there. God comes down to the man who is personification of humility. Humility is down.
Maybe. So here we are trying to understand somehow that even these very words, very word, where from the word come, that is the crux now. Uh, How do I feel that? How do I feel that I exist? How does words come out of my mouth? How does the eyes see? How does the ear hear? Like that, suppose we start plunging deep, probably we may get some clues of His presence. That is what is needed. And Papa has emphatically mentioned all Mahatmas. No external factor can help us. By stilling the waves of the mind alone, we can get at this truth. So ultimately, all our spiritual disciplines should zero to this. That is why
You said that grace is already in existence.
grace is there for everybody. We are not aware that all of us, because we are His children, we have come from Him. It is not that we have come. So grace is always there along with our birth. We are not aware. Because of this mask of ignorance, the me and mine, I am not aware of it. I always try to project myself other than that. My body, my intellect, my this thing.
All this because of ego.
Ego. That's also He gave us. I did not ask for ego. He gave us. But at the same time, I did not ask Him why you gave me ego. He said to realize me, I gave you a sense of individuality. I wanted you to function in this Jagat, which is my office, which is my field, and I gave it. But you should know that I have given you.
Easily he has given, but how to face and come out, that is the problem with
Correct.
person.
He made us to feel that we are the doer, we are the planner, we are the executor. A day for yesterday, or 2, 3 days back, one person came. He was in a hurry to go back. He had just come. Somebody was here, so we said, you come after some time. He came in. And when we were just explaining about Papa's philosophy, he said, human effort is far more important than anything else. I said, absolutely. Papa does say that. We put it in this way, spiritual science and material science should go hand in hand. They are these two sides of the same coin. But no more, nothing is more important than the other. Because the matter to remain enliven, you need the spirit. To the spirit to express itself, it needs the matter. Both are necessary. No, human birth is far more necessary. We said, what is that human being? Is he only the body, mind, intellect equipment? There is a spirit behind it, the life force. Kindly think about it. This is what our Guru says. That life force is God. The one because of which we are now looking, that life. Jivanam Sarvabhudeshu. So we try to
Swamiji,
yes.
when we will realize at the moment. But what about the retrospective days that has passed without this event?
When we come out of this dream, what happens? We are fully back to ourselves. We are fully back to ourselves. There is no residue. You even forget what you dreamt. But at the time of dreaming, it is so real, no? At the same time, during the dream, it is so real. Samsara swapna tulyo hi ragadveshadi sankulaha. Sokale swapnavadbhadi prabodhe satyasatbhave. The moment we get up, it becomes, we know what is real, what is unreal. So it is like a dream. It is not dream. It is like a dream. So that we will experience only, that we can say only when we reach that stage. Hari Om.
So Swamiji, will we get this grace with adios?
Pardon?
Will we get his grace with adios?
Realize God.
That means you have never been away from it. That you were not aware. So the question of Arias does not come, I mean, it is always I am there. I have been thinking that I am a limited, finite person, and I realize now I am that full, in which this sense of individuality is also functioning. So then I have been like that. I have forgotten my my original nature. I started identifying with a finite, small nature, and now I realize that I am that. So even when we say we are striving, who is telling that we are striving? That we have to ask. That is how Papa puts it, go to the origin of everything. Origin of everything. Even when a thought comes, we are trying to go to the origin. First, we try to go to the origin of everything that we see, we touch, we hear, we smell, we taste. They are all tangible, palpable. We try to go to their source. Now, for example, our specs, our dress, this chair, this room, electricity, all these things have come from some discovery, invention, innovation. From whom? From a human individual. That individual is made up of what? Who gave that prompting? Like that, Then we come to know the individual innovation and whatnot. And because it has come from him, that is why none of them specified their beneficiaries. Everything is for everybody. Acha. Now, when that much is convinced, then we try to go a little more inward. Because that which is not palpable. Then the thought comes. Thought is palpable. Where from the thought can come? We have no clue, because with the thought we cannot go to the source. For the simple fact that thought comes from a base where there are no thoughts. A state where there are no thoughts cannot be explained through a thought. So we try to go through an experience by which thoughts are stilled. This is how the process is. And when that comes, that just now we read, the truth we are discussing is inexpressible. Then we have been promised by Mahatma that we will reach, we will not be able to express. Original nature, our original nature. Previously, we were identified with the projected individuality. I am the son, my name, my form, my relationship, my power, my status, my attachments. Now I try to realize my original nature. This is the truth. So ultimately, it zeroes to the silence. We will again read the article of Papa, which he expressed it, no? The truth we are discussing is inexpressible. But still we are talking about it. Because by doing so, we feel somehow benefited in a strange way. Instead of talking about something, let us talk about this. We are talking about the inexpressible, which cannot be realized by talking or through the working of the senses. By stilling the waves of the mind alone, we can get at the truth. This talk is only a means by which we inwardly commune with our real self, capital S, self, which is static, and try to attain our oneness with it. It helps the struggle. This talking, it helps the struggle by which the waves of the mind are stilled. It is not by doubting that we can reach the goal. Realizing the truth requires practice and ultimate stilling of the mind.
Swamiji,
Oh,
while chanting, while praying, that's also a thought only, no? Because
yeah, it is thought.
the way we feel incomplete, inadequate, we are praying that what is that? Why I am feeling so incomplete, or
Yeah.
what is the incompleteness due to? But prayer is also a thought only.
It is all a thought. But the difference between that thought and the other usual thought is that this thought is trying to drive away all other thoughts. Just like we use the mop or what do you call broomstick to clear everything and at the same time keep the broomstick also away. Similarly, this thought, prayer or chanting, helps us to remove all other dissimilar thoughts, and finally, that also goes away. That's why Papa specifically mentioned utterance of God's name is to make the mind ultimately still, free from all thoughts. It is in the stillness that you know and realize God. So the thought also goes, chanting also stops.
That stillness gives you a feeling of rested completely.
It gives a feeling of being rested completely.
Stillness gives a feeling of rested completely.
It won't be like that. Let us not try to define it through the mind, you know. Because we cannot. It is a stage where it cannot be expressed. If anything is expressed, it is not the truth. In one of her, this thing, Mataji has specifically warned us also, sadhakas, that you may feel you are experiencing the truth, but don't get stuck by it. Because you will not be able to experience it, you will not be able to express it. The moment you are trying to bring it within the knowables, with the definable, expressible, it is not. A different realm, you know. That is why all of us are struggling. We are in the mind-intellect plane, and we are trying to understand it through the mind-intellect, whereas this is beyond the boundaries of mind and intellect. But we have been assured that when we keep on doing this, Nama chanting with the right attitude, driving away all our thoughts, finally witnessing the chanting, and then what happens? That happens. What happens? That happens. That's all. Nothing more. Papa put it in an understandable way. God's name is to make the mind ultimately still. How? That has to be done by us. Utterance of God's name is to make the mind ultimately still. We have been chanting, we have not got it, So there is some more addition is there, some more factor is there, some more is to be there, input is there, which we have forgotten. That is why we have not tasted, not that we are not chanting. Utterance of God's name is to make the mind ultimately still, free from all thoughts. It is in the stillness that you know and realize God. So initially, Nama helps us. But later on, how to make use of that Nama to enter into that field? It cannot be conveyed. It has to be tried and practiced, and then we get it. Anyway, once more we will go through what he has said. Whatever we may talk about the truth, T capital, is only for the sake of talking. Even then we find a certain peace within us. This peace brings about a certain state of stillness in the mind. This is what Mataji warned us. That is not the ultimate. Whatever we may talk about the truth is only for the sake of talking. Even then, we find a certain peace within us. This peace brings about a certain state of stillness in the mind, which may lead us to the realization of the truth. It is with this object we are talking. Or rather, we talk to make one understand. By talks alone, one cannot get the experience. So what Ramdas says may or may not be believed, but you must dive deep and realize the self. Capital S, capital T, capital L, capital F. He cannot define the truth.
Nama is the vehicle.
And leave the vehicle after some time. You see, in a village area, there may be some roads, and after which there will be only a footpath. Now, for example, in Himalayas, there is an ashram in where do you know? This place? Almora, beyond Almora. So there is an ashram there, on the top of a hill. So the vehicle will go only up to some extent. Then afterwards, you have to leave the vehicle and walk, and then reach the goal. Spiritual journey is exactly like that. To reach that place, we need a vehicle. You can go by train, by flight to a particular place, and from there have a cab or bus, then get down. So nowadays, last time we said we don't know whether we will be able to go up the hill. And we went up and up and.
What is the distance of walking?
Must be from here to the Hanuman temple. Not dense, full of wild animals. So now coming back, so that means vehicle cannot take us beyond that. Similarly, Nama we have to leave that way when all other distractions are tamed, disciplined, controlled. When leave the Nama, and then we enter into that realm. And Guru shows. Up to that, probably the Guru's teachings help us. Then he says, go there, you will find. That. And Papa beautifully mentions it as objectless happiness. That is called Anandam, not happiness. Objectless happiness. That which is not dependent upon any person, any object, any situation. These are the three things by which we say we are happy. We are happy with a person, we are happy with an object, we are happy with a situation. All these three are removed. What remains is that happiness. That's called objectless happiness. So Nama leads us from so many other field to this particular field, and then it cannot go beyond that. Then we move towards that. It is not proper to say that word, but the moment it is stopped, it takes place by itself. Anyway, coming back, let us see, let us try to travel and reach the place. Walking, of course, that will take it will be taken care of by itself. So what Ramdas says may or may not be believed, but you must dive deep and realize the self. We cannot define truth, which is unthinkable, indescribable, undefinable. Unthinkable, indescribable, undefinable. From the thought plane, we cannot realize. Knowables means, all are within the framework of the thought. So, from the thought plane, we cannot realize. Truth is silence. The best way we can express the truth is by means of silence. When Ramdas speaks of his experience of that high state, he is struck dumb. Still, he is made to talk about it so that interest may be created in the people to search for it. That is why we are all involved in going through that. So that now the search becomes more and more effective. Ramdas is here and goes everywhere to lay before those interested in this attainment his own experience of the path that led him to the realization. He knows that the goal after reaching it cannot be described to others. Others must experience it for themselves. But he can definitely say that this life of bondage is free for attaining the state of happiness and peace of the eternal. So as usual, today also he has taken a PhD class, We have to our mind. No external factors.
Swamiji, the point is you are taking us somewhere and leaving us nowhere.
You're taking us somewhere, leaving us nowhere.
Clueless.
We are only sharing what possible, But just like we were reading this, this talk he delivered during his. How he made us to locate this today is the guidance. At the time of sitting, no idea, as to what is to be shared. So prior to that, he directs us to this particular talk, which he delivered during 1954 trip, and which is there in 5 volumes. And from that 5 volumes, he directs us to go to this particular subject and culls it out and then preserve it. We don't know why. But later on, we came to know, I will make a question through somebody and you read it out so that everybody can dwell on this. Beyond that, we cannot say anything. So one thing is clear, the grace is there. Otherwise, we will not be able to. Even that grace is inexplicable. So many lectures he has done in that 54 trip, and they are in 5 volumes. To go to a particular volume and to this particular. So this is an assurance he gives us, practical demonstration that when we put one step towards him, he pass out to go further. Let us now consider gold in our hand. Let us not something else, just like when we go to a mall, our parents they are interested in buying certain things. But as children, our attention is on something else. When they have completed the purchase, we will still be looking for something. Finally, we will be asked to come with them. What exactly happening? When they try to go to the mall, we also joined out of curiosity, enthusiasm. But we don't know their purpose. We only know our attractions and we get stuck with it. Similarly, Papa is now taking us to the inner sanctum sanctorum and he is doing it. That is why he is showing all the directions. But suppose we are not conscious of this, we will not be able to derive the maximum benefit of this. Suppose we try to get distracted through something else. Today he is making it clear that we have no job, we have no alternative except to dive deep within. Hiranyagati Prabhuji, no? Na bhed.
ना भेद तो मोली ही क्या क्या साध्य साधकांत.
The seeker and the sought, there is no difference. It's a beautiful poem of Papa. Dive deep. So that means, it melts. It is not for reading. It is not necessary. Not necessary. Again, our mind will go there. That's all. Let us try to get stabilized.
Is it familiar?
Yeah, absolutely. Papa has left us there and showed us, and we have to do it ourselves. So he says in that poem that the seeker and the sought after, there is no difference. What does it mean? No, that is diving deep. The salt doll goes to the river to measure. What happens? Salt gets become one with it. Nabhed. So he uses the same word here, dive deep. So it is unthinkable, indescribable, undefinable. From the thought plane, we cannot realize it. Truth is silence. The best way you can express the truth is by means of silence. When Ramdas thinks of this experience of the high state, he is struck dumb. Still, he is made to talk about it so that interest may be created in the people to search for it. If realized people keep quiet, how will they know? So they have to tell us something about it, something that will help to move towards the goal. That is why he says, don't get stuck with it. You may believe or may not believe. Ramdas's words. Papa is highly democratic, 100% democratic. He doesn't his views. He doesn't say you should do this, you should do that. He places before us his experience, and he wants us to do it in our own way. Still, he is made to talk about it so that interest may be created. So that can be reached only by just hearing we will reach. So we have to do some. So far we have been doing it, Now everything is zeroing it. We have been watching now. Even this, now everything is zeroing it. We have been watching now. Even this prayer. Everything is now slowly zeroing to that. In our Arati, the last line, no? Jajyastali he manajaya maje, tyatyastali he nijarupa tuje. So wherever I look, I must be able to see you. Wherever I place my head, it must be on your lap, That is how we come out of the Majan hall after the Arati. This is a solemn resolve we are making every day. So this, what is that? I don't know. Now Papa is telling that is inexpressible. You will be able to see me, Somebody told us we are repeating it. One minute before we close that, we will go to that also. Why should we leave it? Arati English. Control N. ज्यास्थली है न जाय माझे त्यास्थली है निज रूप तुझे मी देवी मस्तक जा ठिकाणी ते तुझे सद्गुरु पाय दोनी. Wherever my mind wanders, this is the last line, after Arati. Wherever my mind wanders, O Lord, the return presence is felt. He makes it, We are telling that where my mind is, there your eternal presence is felt. I am feeling your presence. So Mataji fixed up all these things so that every activity which you name as a spiritual discipline in ashram helps you to move towards the goal. The goal is your eternal presence is felt. Where I bow my head in reverence, there both your feet are. So every day when we go there, we do Ramnam, we do observe Maun, we say the prayer, and then we go through the Arati, we pay our respects to our spiritual preceptor. If he has not stepped into my life, I would not have known anything at all. So an Arati is performed to his form also, and then finally I close my eyes and pray to him, you are within me and everywhere. I am trying to see you everywhere. So it is not a ritual. It is every day we are making one step, 1 inch, or a quarter of an inch, or 1/8 of an inch, or not 1% of the inch. We are trying to move towards the goal, towards the goal, towards the goal. And that goal cannot be explained. I think that is enough today. So let us all try to assimilate as much as we can, and try to retain this and pursue this further. He has been extremely gracious to guide us, and to make us know that he is guiding us. That is also important. Not only that he is guiding us, but he is also making us aware that he is guiding us. Let us eke out the maximum benefit out of this. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om.
Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram,
Jai Ram,
Jai
Jai
Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody.
Hari Om, Hari Om,
Hari Om.
Pranam.
Namaskaram, Swamiji.
Namaskaram, namaskaram. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Singing something. Namaskaram, Namaskaram. Hari Om. We are singing 1, 2, 3. Hari Om. Hari Om. The last Satsang, you're going to Sunday? Sunday.
Day after tomorrow.
And at what time?
Early morning,
Huh?
9 o'clock.
Hari Om.
Swamiji, how are you?
Finally,
Finally, yeah.
for 2 days you have been free from computer.
Yes, from the doorship.
She's going near the computer. No.
So far, she has not.
But you have brought it with her.
Yes.